The year's 2003, and I will say it was, in a way, Hulkmania, but not really because that's Hulk Hogan. What I mean by is a live action Hulk movie came out, and I mean, it was exciting. It was my first time seeing a Hulk movie. I was around 10 years old when this movie came out, and I loved it. I mean, we had action figures. I mean, look, right here, look at this. This is one of the few ones that I have. Huge guy. I mean, he's all scratched up because I played with him so much as a kid, and I mean, I love this figure. He feels good. I think he's what, like a vinyl? But yeah, like, look at that. All like the pants are all like fabric and stuff. He doesn't have much articulation, but he is a really cool and beefy Hulk figure. I mean, look at that. By the way, this is how I like the Hulk to look like. Like this. Incredible Hulk was great. The one that came out for the MCU, I think that's also top tier. Avengers Hulk, don't like it that much.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Well, in Avengers 1, he was good. After that, I don't like the smart Hulk crap. And I'll be fully honest, I tend to like the Hulk stories more where he's hiding out instead of him going out and be able to control his ability already. I like the raging monster. So yeah, this Hulk is awesome. Not even that, as a kid, I dressed up as a Hulk for Halloween. I mean, I had so much fun. As you can see over there, I was wearing the mask. I am the Hulk. I have my Hulk smashed foam gloves, which they were huge back then. Now, if you like see them in stores, I think they're a little bit more smaller. And there I punched my sister because I am the Hulk and she got in the way. Not only that, I even had a birthday of the Hulk. I loved the movie. I did. The Ang Lee film was fantastic. I know some people say that it's boring or something, but to be honest, I rewatched this a few months ago, and I will say this is one of the coolest and most underrated comic book movies of all time. I know we're here to talk about the video game, but I just want to say, because we're going to build up to this, I just want to say that the movie is a really good, I guess you could say, character study of the Hulk. Ang Lee really dives deep into the whole trauma that Bruce Banner has and what formates, you know, the Hulk when he gets exposed to the gamma radiation. It's not just anger. So it's really cool. Of course, you don't see a lot of action sequences and stuff. And you did get like some choppy, like comic book style panel, like sequences in the movie.
So long, big boy.
But I loved it as a kid. Also, the Hulk dogs. Holy crap, that was awesome. One of the few things that this Hulk did correct is every time he was getting like damage, he was getting massive and massive and massive. Like, yo, that is Hulk. We don't see that anymore. I miss stuff like this, man. Like, anyways, enough talking about the movie. Let's go on to the game, because see, the game actually takes place after the movie. So in a sense, you can say that this game is Hulk 2. The story is basically you're Bruce Banner and you get a call from Professor Crawford, which is your old mentor. And he's giving you a call to go to like this science facility that it can possibly like cure the Hulk. But in the end, he really ends up just betraying you and stealing the power of the Hulk, making him transform into another hulking monster called Ravage. With that, you had to stop him from giving the Hulk power, which is locked in his orb, to the leader, because he's trying to create a mutated like Hulk army. But before we get any further in the game, let's check out the game case. So here's the game case. You have the Xbox logo right there. To be honest, even though this came out on the PS2 and GameCube, the green on the Xbox just matches it really well. The spine, and then you have the back. It says Unleash the Fury. On the side of the case, you have 25 fully destructible and interactive environments. If you can see it, you can smash it. Battle notorious classic villains and massive new foes. Fight up to 10 enemies at once. And it says 45 devastating attacks to dispose of your enemies. And then lastly, outsmart your enemies as Dr. Bruce Banner using stealth and disguise. Let's go ahead and look at the manual. So here's the case. You have the disc right there, taking out the manual, and it's a rather nice little manual. You can see the color here, some screenshots that were in the back of the case. Quite a variety of stuff in here, and it's in color, so that's pretty nice. That will do it for the manual, and there's a picture of the Hulk. 3 for free. Now, in terms of presentation, I love how this game looks. To be honest, it holds up pretty well. They have this cel-shaded look around it. The world around him, it just looks nice and crisp, especially the cutscenes. Now, there was plans to actually make a second game, making it the third installment in this Hulk 2003 like movie universe, but that was actually later scrapped and then reworked into, well, a lot of people would say the best Hulk game out there, which is the Incredible Hulk, which we'll talk about another time. So the gameplay, well, basically Hulk is a beat 'em up style type of game that you go around through the levels when you're playing as the Hulk. But when you're playing as Bruce Banner, it's more of a stealth type game. You basically are just activating switches, hiding, pulling crates. That's kind of what Bruce can do. Not really much, especially when it comes to combat.
Oh, you got this shit!
Now Hulk is a little bit different. You do have a selection of moves that you can do. Hulk can basically do a normal punch, you can charge punch, you can grab environmentals around the level, you can grab enemies, throw them against other enemies, grab the enemies and just slap them around. You can do air stomps, and one of the two favorite ones that I like is you basically have thunder claps, or you can call them gamma claps. I think I'm gonna just call them gamma claps. And then you can also do the ground pound, which before we get into like the special moves that Hulk has, you do have your HUD system. Above is your green, that's your health, and below is a red meter that indicates your rage mode. Once that fills up, whether you're getting damaged or you're causing damage, you basically explode with rage. Now, in terms of your health and your meter, when it fills up, you do have green orbs that you can pick up that basically heal you when you beat up enemies. Same thing can be said with like the rage orb. So you grab those reddish orange orbs and increase your rage meter. Then you have two ultimate attacks. You do the gamma clap again, and it's just a massive like shockwave that just sends enemies flying. Or then you can do the ground pound, which just eviscerates everything around in your general area. And I feel like it's more effective because the gamma clap, as I'm going to call it, it just goes to one direction. But when you're being surrounded by enemies, if you do that ground pound, then it just takes out everybody in a whole 360 degree, which is awesome. I did want to include that as Bruce. You can actually sneak up behind enemies and perform a chokehold. To be honest, a lot of the time it's pretty useless. I mean, you can fight as Bruce, you can actually like do punches, but to be honest, it's like freaking punching a pillow. You don't do any damage, and when an enemy attacks you, you just lose all your health quickly. Now, before I get into the negatives of this game, because it's not perfect, let's talk about the enemy types that you fight in this game. So you have your standard soldiers with automatic weapons, then you have soldiers with rockets, then you have soldiers with shields and a electric baton, I guess you could say. You also have Hulk dogs. Fight them just like how you do in the movie, and they're as vicious as they are in there, but they can be very annoying when they are surrounding you. You then have mutated soldiers with gamma rockets, and then rocket enforcers. They do try to switch it up, and I guess it does its job in a decent way. Not a bad selection of enemy types, but it does tend to get a little repetitive. Now, the game does have 5 boss battles, and I would say the boss battles are rather decent. You have a character named Half-Life, which is a mutated looking vampire that absorbs electricity. You have Madman. Then there's this character called General Flux or Flux, which looks just like the same thing as another mutated soldier, but just a little bit bigger. Ravage, who you're chasing around in the whole entire game. And then the leader.
This isn't your power. It's my curse, and I'm taking it back.
I will say that my favorite boss fight in this game has to be probably with Ravage and the leader. The other ones are okay, but I would say that the leader definitely has the most, not unique, but it definitely utilizes the fact that, oh, since you play as Bruce Banner and Hulk, they throw that into the boss fight. Now, the boss battles in this game, you beat them in 2 rounds. First round is like a normal fight. Second round, they kind of have like this raging aura just like how you do, but it's constant. They become a little bit more difficult, and then sometimes enemies spawn in to help them out. Now see, and here that's where my complaints come in. So let's go get into that right now. This game can be very, very brutal and unfair, and I played it in the medium difficulty, and I lost multiple times. Soldiers, and it's crazy, you would think that a soldier won't like really hurt you that much. I mean, you're the Hulk, you're supposed to feel really powerful. No, they're always constantly shooting at you, which I guess, yeah, that's part of the game, but you don't really get much health pickups. You do sometimes when you like defeat like a large group, but your health just goes down so fast. Not only that, you're getting blasted by rockets, the Hulk dogs jump at you, and so here's the thing, they all gang up on you, they all surround you, and you get no like invincibility. You know how when you get knocked down in a game and it gives you a chance to like get back up? You don't with this game. You keep getting hit and hit and hit and hit. It's crazy. You definitely get to see the game over screen multiple times. It is cool at first because Hulk doesn't just die, he just falls down to like his knees and he just like rages out, which is cool, but seeing it like 50 times, it gets kind of boring. Not only that, when you get hit in this game, let's say you fall back to the ground, right? You also get damage when you hit the ground. So sometimes an enemy can hit you a few times, right? And then you still get even more damage when you hit it. It's frustrating because again, you don't get a chance to breathe. They all surround you and you have to like jump and cheese your way through the game to get to the destination. I thought that I had to beat all the enemies, you know, standard beat 'em up style, to advance to the level. No, towards the end of this game, I was just like running and just trying to hit the end goal as fast as possible. The AI becomes brutal. The only good thing that I would say is when you actually do get a checkpoint when you're progressing through like a mission, not a boss battle, you start over with full health, or you don't start with the health that you started with the checkpoint. So I guess that's kind of how they do it, but still, I would call it horrible balancing. This game does have a decent amount of levels. I believe it took me around 9 hours to beat, or like 10. So it's a decent lengthy game. Plus, once you complete the entire game, you do have level select, which you can pick whichever level you enjoy the most. I always end up going to fighting Ravage. I don't know. I always had a lot of fun playing that. Now, I didn't want to forget that this game does have cheat codes. Again, this is an era where cheat codes were a normal thing. Now, again, like I mentioned in my 007 video, it's pay to win. They're not crazy. They're all unlocked in the game. You can get invincibility, double the damage, decrease the enemy's health. One of the coolest ones is you can be Grey Hulk. Now, you don't get a whole outfit change. You just get a color swap, but you do get to hear lines from Grey Hulk. So as you're playing the game, you can hear some unique dialogue, but it does get repetitive. Once you go through with the character around 5 minutes, he just ends up repeating the same thing, and it does get old.
Feel that? That's pride messing with you. Stay down. Ooh, somebody call the cops. And think, I'm just getting warmed up.
So you got the cheat codes and you beat the game. Where can you go next? Well, you have challenge mode, and it's not a very big in-depth challenge mode. You do have endurance mode, which is basically surviving as long as you can in countless waves of enemies. Then you have time attack, which defeat as many enemies as possible before the time runs out. And then lastly, you have Hulk Smash. Now, Hulk Smash, your goal in this game mode is to basically destroy everything that's around you, like your environment, as much as you can to earn points. One of the last features that this game has is like the special features section, which includes artwork from the movie, which is nice. You can look at like screenshots of them. You have Eric Bana here, you have Jennifer Connelly, some trailers of the movie, trailers of the game, and then also a making of the game, which is pretty cool. They were excited to make this whole game, and it's there because it's pretty fun, despite the whole shortcomings that it has with its AI difficulty and just a little bit of repetitiveness. It is a really cool whole game, and I sometimes end up playing this more than Incredible Hulk. But then again, I guess there's something wrong with me. Not that that's bad, I just sometimes I feel like I prefer my linear games compared to like an open world. But other than that, make sure you comment down below in the video, what is your favorite Hulk game? What is your favorite Hulk iteration? Have you ever played this game before? Hit that like button, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. I greatly appreciate it. I also do have a TikTok that you can follow. The link should be down in the description below of this video. I do post figure videos in there, or just like showing them off, and some little fun stuff that I normally wouldn't post on YouTube. But other than that, I'll catch you guys next time, okay? Later.